gNostic5sensesKnowledge, Kings and Queens Entertainment Education Academy is on the air with Talk Line from Alamance County, Burlington, North Carolina.
Welcome to Talk Line. Glad to have you along. Hope you will give us a call. Join in the conversation. 336-222-9224 to Talk Line.
An entire community was paid to attack you. An entire community was paid to attack you. But now, the warrants are signed. The doors that once concealed them are about to open, and the narcissist behind it all is about to discover that money cannot silence the judgment of God. Not one person, not two people. An entire circle was bought, influenced, and instructed to make you feel isolated, watched, and oppressed day after day. Money changed hands. Lies were planted. The narcissist stood behind them all, smiling and believing no one would ever see the hand directing it. But today, heaven has spoken. God is no longer silent. He saw everything they believed was hidden. The doors that protected their secrets are being opened. God's patience was never his permission. They were given time to stop, but they accepted more money, repeated more lies, and continued touching someone God had already placed under his protection. If you know God preserved you while an entire community tried to wear you down, declare, God is my defender.
God is my defender. I walk with the Most High. Leave me alone or get cast down by the Most High.
God is my defender. Let your declaration remind someone that human influence can never outrank heaven. They believed money could purchase the right to attack a child of God. They believed a community could become a wall protecting the narcissist's wickedness. They were wrong. No payment, lie, title, or human alliance can stand before the righteous anger of God when he rises to defend one of his own. When he rises to defend one of his own. You were never alone. You were never abandoned. Now the narcissist and everyone who accepted payment are about to understand one truth. No one can purchase permission to attack someone covered by heaven.
somebody new. And best of all, you promised to see me through. I'm believing you, receiving you, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord. So why do we try to hurry, getting uptight about the plan? You made the universe without the help of man. And when you say you keep your promise, we know you cannot lie. So we raise our song of faith up to the sky. I'm believing you, receiving you, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord. I don't have to worry, trying to prove myself to you. You know before I start what's hidden in my heart. And you can change me, rearrange me into somebody new. And best of all, you promise to see me through. And best of all, you promise to see me through. And best of all, you promise to see me through.
Hallelujah. Glory. Woo! Glory. Hallelujah.
Experience in addressing what I've just stated about moving, but I do. You see, before I was ever employed by Burlington Industries, I had to agree to be transferred from one location to another. And Michael, the decision to go with them was not an easy one. That's because my grandmother, who was raised me, was living with me at that time, and I had to consider her situation in moving from my hometown of Henderson and how this would affect her, because she was she was much more important to me than an almighty dollar. But thankfully, I made the right decision for her, and joining Burlington Industries. And in moving, I would find myself being transferred from being a plant training director down in Gastonia, North Carolina, to becoming a corporate training director in Burlington, North Carolina, where my first responsibility would be in training transportation personnel. Now, was this easy? Of course it wasn't easy. I would be moving into Burlington in 1976 under the Jimmy Carter administration and find myself actually losing money because of Carter's inflation impact on housing, paying over $10,000 more for the same kind of house that I owned in Gastonia. No, it wasn't easy, Michael, but where there's no pain, there's no gain. Sometimes we have to make the necessary sacrifice to lift ourselves up instead of engaging in a pity party, Michael. And speaking of making a sacrifice, I want to say this morning. I sincerely thank my friend Ron. He's been a blessing to me. Ron, for calling in the talk line on Wednesday, when he said that many young people think that when they become employees, they're supposed to go to the top immediately. Ron, that brought back memories from my career with Burlington. All of the college graduates hired into transportation reported directly to me. And they were management trainees, and I found these trainees needed to be tested. And the best test was to put them on third shift. Report to third shift as we continue your management training. And most of these did this with little difficulty. But then you did have those that referred to by Ron thinking that that was belittling, go to third shift. So I would tell them the true story of one employed by BI Transportation as a sweeper. He was fresh out of high school, no college diploma, and he was required to sweep the dock on his shift daily. But regardless of the assignment, that sweeper, who possessed a tremendous work ethic, he worked his way through the ranks. And then I would point my finger toward the executive wing where I was located, where Mr. Charlie Lewis was located. Mr. Charlie Lewis, who began his career as a sweeper, Michael, was now the executive vice president of trucking. And he was laughing all the way to the bank as he deposited his monthly paycheck. No, Michael Graves, I have no interest in your pity party. Tell your friend to move. Each of us have the responsibility to make the right decisions in life. The problem is there are too many of all ages, not just young, all ages, who are totally irresponsible. If you doubt that, you need to tune in to the Judge Judy program and learn the way she addresses their irresponsible behavior. Now, let me quickly state, I am not ever getting on this radio to ridicule young people. I love young people, all of them. After all, Work of Ministries has tools that we provide to uplift young people. I want them to have the same kind of success which God provided to me. So let me say we have a lot of good, honest, hard-working young people in this country, and praise God for them. My favorite example, my nephew I referred to before on this program, lives in Oxford. And he, along with his sister and brother, were raised up by two godly parents who've always had a strong work ethic and set the right example before them. But when Will graduated from high school, he had a lazy streak. He just loved to sleep in late. I give my brother, his uncle, the credit for rescuing him. He hired Will into his business. And all of a sudden, Will made his first mistake. He reported to work late. And his uncle made it abundantly clear that this behavior was not be tolerated. And even though he was my nephew, his uncle would not hesitate to terminate him. So now it was time for Will to pay his dues. He became a strong, hard-working employee who would eventually be promoted to service manager. More recently, Will came in touch with a better opportunity, and he's now employed by Microsoft, in which he was able to double his salary. You see, Michael Graves, my nephew, after acquiring a strong work ethic, he would never join your pity party. Now, as far as the impact of inflation on young people is concerned that you continue to bring to the radio, they're certainly a lot better off under the Trump administration. I mean, the latest inflation report that came forth on Tuesday of this week, inflation down 0.1% and the annual rate's 3.4%. I realize the ideal rate is 2%, but I want you to compare that, Michael, to the 19% under Joseph Biden. And as for the grocery prices and other such prices, I remind Michael Graves that the 19% inflation under Biden and the rampant inflation that occurred under Carter is still built in today's prices. I've said that often because that's an economic fact of life, and it's a sad fact. Now that we don't need to make excuses or whatever regarding the young people or the old people. We need to teach lessons that what you get when you vote for someone who does not know how to manage the economy, like Obama, places regulations on business,
like Trump,
resulting in less prosperity. That's right. So I conclude with this, Michael. If you would spend your time offering encouragement to a young person, instead of talking doom and gloom before them and blaming the situation on Donald Trump's economy, you could become a valuable mentor for them. It's sad that you don't possess that mindset.
It's sad that you don't, Jim.
Thank my God this morning that a gentleman by the name of Harry Myers was willing to move.
Thank your God. He's not our God. We don't serve the same Lord.
That's why we can enjoy him on Talk Line. God bless you, Mr. Harry. Hope you and Miss Suzanne have a wonderful, safe weekend. Love you. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank
Love
you.
you. Say it. You is plumb sickening, Jim. You is plumb damn sickening.
Who's married 58 years. That's a feat in itself. So congratulations.
Isn't that wonderful? I love that.
That's a blessing.
It really is. It absolutely is. What a wonderful, and it was so nice of him to call and say that. I'm just tickled to death that he called. I appreciate that too.
That's why he's been married 58 years, because he respects his wife. To give her respect and call the radio show and say something like that. So, congratulations to them. They are a model for any young couple. But now, Jim, I just bless his heart, bless his heart, bless his heart. When I graduated from college in '92, I got a great offer for a job in Ohio. I didn't want to take the job because my grandmother was still here, and I didn't want to move. People said that I was crazy for not taking the job because of the benefits and the salary and all this other stuff. But I stayed in North Carolina, and it has worked out pretty well, I think. But the reason why I was able to make that decision is because there were many jobs to choose from. So first, the young man is not no pity party. I don't hear anybody having a pity party just because you say he can't find a job. That's not a pity party. And he has widened his search to 100 miles from where he is. But the thing about it is this is the which I had my pick of jobs. It's not the fact that there are not high-paying jobs. There are some, but the amount of them are less. And then you have 200 people applying for that job with much experience. Just right here in Alamance County, there was a job that he qualifies for, in the working for the county. And I talked to one county commissioner about it. Said, yeah, this is the about. And so I told the young man to apply for it. And then I get a call, Mike, over 200 people apply for that same job. So quite naturally, whoever's hired for that position, the county manager hired for that position, is going to hire somebody with the same master's degree in finance, but has 20 years experience behind that education. This young man is fresh out of college. So you have people who've been in the market 20, 30 years, that are looking for jobs, or jobs have been downsized or cut out because of the bad economy. You know, when you get 23,000 jobs cut from the job, when you were going from the last year of Biden over 1 million jobs for that year added to the economy to down to now 30,000 jobs under the Trump's year. That is why you have so many people fluctuated into the market for these good, high-paying jobs. The young man ain't whining. We just talk about the reality, but see, you turn it into whining because the reality is going against the lies that's coming out the White House and the lies that you tell every day on this show about how great the economy is. And you turn it into somebody hating Donald Trump. Again, I think you have a unnatural love for Donald Trump. I think he sticks his hand up your rectum and makes you talk. And you just regurgitate the BS that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth. Well, I don't. I look at the financial data. I look at the economic data. I look at the own data that comes out his own White House, his own departments. The departments are supposed to be independent. I look at that data. And if you looked at it, then you wouldn't be so enamored by Donald Trump's economy, golden age economy. Now, to Barry, this is the prime example for our young people. Because Jim trying to tell young people, move, get you a job, do this, do that, and not again paying attention to what they're saying. And then you have Barry telling people who are serving in war, a war that his own staff said that we did not have to fight, that there was no danger of Iran having a war or nuclear weapons. He's going to tell these individuals that they're not tough enough. Well, if you got people jumping off the side of a ship at sea, I think that passed the question of them being tough enough. Evidently something's going wrong. According to the family, according to reporting, they don't have clean water to drink. They don't have bathroom stalls they can use because this stuff has to be emptied out, and they have nowhere. The systems are broke down, so it can't be repaired. So they're not having clean bathrooms. They're running out of food to eat. They're running out of regular rations because they can't port. Why they can't pull into a port is because the world that Donald Trump said he was making safe from Iran is so dangerous now that they can't even pull in the port. If you have a military vessel that can't pull in the port, so what does that tell you about a ship that's carrying goods that we need? If a military vessel can't pull in the port, then a ship that carries goods can't pull in the port. Who's going to raise our prices? But what Barry's telling young people while he's sitting at home that they ain't tough enough. But these are the young people that's fighting this war. They are over there. The families are getting calls, mental health calls from the Department of War, which is the Department of Defense. But the Department of Defense says your child tried to kill himself. But Barry says, well, the remedy is they need to get tougher. See, that's what young people are hearing. They hear 70-year-old, 80-year-old octogenarians telling them that the economy is better than it is, that they just had to move, that the war ain't no big deal, you just ain't tough enough. I was tough in the 60s. This is the type of stuff the young people are hearing, and
Nobody's listening to the young people who are paying the price. And J.D. Vance said, we're going to keep moving to socialism. This is what J.D. Vance said yesterday. You can fact check. He said, we're going to keep moving to socialism if we can't fix the economy. But if we're in the golden age of economics, why do you need to fix the economy?
All right.
Question.
You can always make it better, Michael. You can always make the economy better. Even if it's great, you can make it better. You know, and I think young people do need to get tougher. I really do. I think that one of the difficulties that we have is that we have been, to use my daddy's term, mollycoddling. That doesn't mean everybody. It just means that what we need to do is we need to instill in our young people that life is tough and that it's not, you know, an easy thing. You gotta do what you gotta do. Now, I missed something here. You say that since the president's only brought in 30,000 jobs, you know, I don't know where you got that number from, because that number isn't correct. You know, you said since Trump has been in an office, he's only gotten in 30,000 jobs. That's not. I mean, that's what you said. I think you may have misspoken. I think that's another one of those things about you misspeaking. You know, so far this year, it's 172,000 jobs this year. And, you know, and when one of the reasons why the jobs were, the millions of jobs were so much there in the Biden administration because of COVID. You know, if you compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges, that's what you need to do about jobs. You know, we have plenty of jobs. Our problem is that there are many people that have been trained in our colleges and universities that don't want to do the jobs that are available. They want to do the job that they want. They want their, and that's what everybody wants. That, you know, I wanted my dream job too. You know, I knew what I wanted to do, and I wanted to do that thing, and I never did. I never got when I got out of college, what my dream job was. And I settled for working my way up. That's what I wanted to do, and that's what young people have to do. And today, I think one of the difficulties that when Michael says he talks to young people, when I talk to young people, one of the things that I find that is prevalent within their in their thought process is they want to, you know, and I don't think I think it's unfair to say that there weren't, you know, people like you and me that wanted the very best job to start with. We didn't want to work our way up. We would have rather gotten our dream job on day one. And I think that the young people that I talk to think they're entitled to start where they want to start, to do what they want to do, to have what they want to have. And I think that's a little bit different from, you know, the way it was or the way it really is. What you have to do is you have to if you want to be here, if that's your goal, you're going to have to start back here somewhere to work your way into that position. And I think that one of the things that we've seen that is difficult for the young people is in our society is that they don't, you know, they were just like us. We wanted to start at the top, but we just didn't. We knew we weren't going to be able to start at the top, and we worked our way up, or worked our way to wherever we ended up. And the thing is that we need to talk to our young people, you know, and I think that's what Michael is saying. He talks to young people. I think it's a good thing. You talk to young people, but they're going to tell you what they think. And you know, what Michael is saying is, I think, is absolutely true. You know, young people today are upset with how the world is going, and I believe that the reason they're upset with the way the world is going is for many of the reasons that Michael said, but in addition to other things, is they have been mollycoddled as kids, much more than we were, more than Michael was, more than I was, more than the callers that have talked about it, like Jim Hogsett were. We were not mollycoddled. I was not.
We're going anyway.
Here tomorrow, definitely. I know that, sir.
All righty. Well, good enough. Thanks for giving us a call.
Yeah, that phone number, if they need to talk to somebody, they can talk to John Harris.
Okay. Went out of business at 1403 West Webb Avenue, Burlington, tomorrow, 12:30 p.m., but you can come early and take a look.
What? Okay. I didn't want to say this part. I really didn't want to say it. It's almost like it went from the Page of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles, and then the Four of Swords. It kind of depicts somebody laid in a church, but laid flat on their back. It is when somebody is laid to rest. Sometimes. But it just looked odd when it went from the Knight of Pentacles. I mean, it went from the Page, which is younger. It went to the Knight, which is like older, like something grew. And then the Four of Swords is when something is put to rest. When something is like accepted, or when when nothing can be done. But then the next card was the Seven of Wands, like somebody trying to fight it, somebody trying to defend it. And then I see the Six of Cups. It's like saying you love somebody or you cared about somebody, but then it's like, so what happened? The Wands and the Five of Cups, something terrible happened here. Wands and here. And the Sun card is exposing it. I asked, what is the Queen of Wands? It says the Sun card. The Sun is not out here because, oh, the Queen of Wands is happy. The Sun is also exposing the light. It's exposing the truth, shining light on wherever the darkness was. So something here is shifted. Something shifted. If one day, let's say this Empress, let's say they had children, right? And I don't know, one day, like, I don't know. I really don't even want to speak this. I don't even want to speak this. But it's just an example. It's just an example. Let's say something happened to like all their children, like back to back to back to back to back or something like that. And it's like, you know, the Devil card can represent contracts and things like that. It makes me feel like there's a reason why that happened. And it's something that they were getting into, or they were doing, or something here. It could have been a contract, a past life contract. It's something here that is coming to collect. Okay? I don't know who this is. I don't know who's reading this is right here. That's why I said at the beginning, this must be an enemy or some shit. Because this shit look real bad. It looked real bad. And okay, so Virgo, I feel like somebody is looking at the Empress like, like they knew this shit was gonna happen. I am screaming right now. Oh my goodness, I am screaming right now. What the fuck stepped in like that and just snatched up somebody's Ten of Cups like that? Queen of Wands gave something power, or signed something, or agreed to something, or they wanted something bad enough they prayed for it, or they made a petition, or they did something. And that's why the Hermit is here looking like, with the Lantern. Looking like, this looks odd. Yeah, it's something wrong here, y'all. Like, I don't even know. I really don't even want to say certain things because I'm not trying. I don't want to like, but I can't help what I see. The first three cards was the Queen of Wands, the Ten of Wands, and the Five of Cups. Queen of Wands is usually fire energy. Ten of Wands is all of the fire. That's usually her suit. That's when something is completely in like destructive mode, like how fire can consume a forest. Destruction, right? Five of Cups is sadness. That's when something is completely in like destructive mode, like how fire can consume a forest. Destruction, right? Five of Cups is sadness and despair. So why would the Queen of Wands be in that energy? I don't know how to turn that positive. The Sun card didn't even turn it positive. The Sun card only shined a light. They've been doing it a long time. So good or bad, I don't know. But they've been doing some shit a long time and been focused on it a long time. And then we got the Sun. Oh my goodness, what is this Sun? And you know another thing that I didn't want to say? It also makes me feel like a person feels like their son was taken from them. Their child was taken from them. Their daughter, somebody was taken from them. Like maybe taken too soon kind of thing is what I'm saying. But it still looks weird. It looks suspicious. Like I can't help it. It looks suspicious. It doesn't. Oh my God, it's giving me chills. Because, y'all don't understand. In past lives, there have been people that are like, oh, I would give my firstborn if you just... Like, I didn't make that shit up. Okay? I did not make that shit up. That ain't none of my business. But that's how some shit was going down. And it ain't none of my business. But at the same time, I just can't knock the feeling that this shit happened because this Queen of Wands agreed to some shit. I don't know when they agreed to it. But spiritually, this is I don't even want to like give this too much energy. Cause it just feels so terrible. It feels terrible for I can't even say the words because it's like, At the same time, we got the Fool. The Fool card just came out. I don't know. And then they laughing and dancing and shit. Like they happy about some shit. I don't know. I don't like it. Look at the Page of Sword looking at some shit too. Page of Sword is like, this is like the Hermit. Getting information. Checking shit out. Evaluating. Curious. Okay, and this shit right here, it looked a little funny to me. Why is somebody celebrating? This was somebody planned. This is what somebody wanted. They wanted this shit to happen. I thought they were all sad and shit. I cannot with this reading. You know, it almost reminds me of, what was that movie? I can't think of the name of the movie, but it had parts, it had many parts in the movie that had elements of like hoodoo and voodoo and stuff like that. And it was a little girl and she went to the hoodoo lady, whatever they called it in New Orleans. And she wanted something to happen to her. I think it was her dad, because she thought her dad had done something to her sister or something like that. And like, okay, make a long story short, she went to the lady, she told the lady what she wanted, the lady did what she wanted, and when she came back, she thought the lady was gonna make her a doll. Now I know that y'all know the name of this movie, but I can't remember it. But she wanted her to make her a doll, but the lady didn't make her a doll. She just basically put death on the father, because that's what the little girl wanted. And the girl was like, no, I wanted a doll. And the lady was like, you paid me for this and this is what you wanted. And yeah. Like, and now it's like, feeling some type of way. But this reading right here is a little bit opposite, because it looks like they sad, but who the hell is this celebrating? Who is this celebrating? I gotta get about this reading. I really can't. We got the Empress here. And then we got the Two of Pentacles. It looked like exchange kind of energy. Oh my God, it is. I'm about to cry. This is some bullshit right here what this Empress did. And that's why. It's like, oh my God. They made a deal. They made a deal with some type of shit, some type of force, some type of person, some type of something. They did that shit. And we're not going to act like there have not been people in this world that have not sold their children. We're not going to act like that. This shit feels so afflicted. It feels so messed up. But it's going to turn around on this person. And that's the part they're not seeing. It's going to turn around. It says honesty and communication here. And listen deeply. That shit is going to turn around. I don't know who the High Priestess is, but the High Priestess know. The High Priestess know, because Judgment came out in this reading. Judgment came out, but they wanted me to see what the hell was going on. They wanted this. And when a terrible thing happened, they felt terrible about it. But they also celebrated like it was a new beginning. Like they have something new. They have they sacrificed their child. So now they have this new life. They have this. And I'm telling you, Judgment is not a game. Judgment... Gotta get about this reading. I'm gonna leave it right here. Chiron Intuition. If you liked what I read, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for
the people judged your choices without understanding your reasons. And on today, a lot of people are miserable and minding your business when they should be minding their own. They should be trying to figure out what they got going on in their own lives. See, it's always the ones that don't have anything going on in their life. They're miserable, grown adult people that are always constantly worried about a person that doesn't even know their name. Some of these people you've never seen a day in your life, but yet and still they're criticizing your decisions. They have had a whole conversation about what you got going on, how you're living your life, what you have chose to do, how you dealt with your pain, what you should have done and what you shouldn't have done. It is a constant thing with miserable people, small-minded people. This is why I forever remind you to let people do and say what they think they need to do and say. Because a lot of times people don't understand what you had to go through. And they can talk about what they wouldn't do if it were them, what they wouldn't have said, how they wouldn't have done this and wouldn't have done that. A person don't know what they would do until they're faced with the situation. They don't know what you had to go through. They're just finding pleasure in talking about your life because they don't have anything going on. They don't know what you had to go through. They're just finding pleasure in talking about your life because they don't have anything going on. You know, it's got to be a mental issue for a person to constantly have your name in their mouth, watch everything you do, and still claim not to like you. Still claim that what you done, like it has really altered their life in some type of way. This is why I mind my business. I stay in my own lane. I enjoy my good peace. And I love every bit of it, because what is it going to do for me and my pockets, my bank account, to sit around and bash the next person? Them people don't know what you had to go through, and they still on today don't know what you have to go through. They cannot walk a mile in your shoes, and they still on today don't know what you have to go through. They cannot walk a mile in your shoes. They couldn't even endure half of the things that you have had to endure. See, it takes a very ignorant person, and yes, I said it, a very ignorant person to run their mouth about something they know nothing about.
And for an entire church community to bully the righteous one. Now, what does that look like? A church community bullying the righteous one.
They couldn't even endure half of the things that you have had to endure. See, it takes a very ignorant person, and yes, I said it, a very ignorant person to run their mouth about something they know nothing about. Because I've said it once and I'll say it again. There's always three sides to a story, not just one. And that's a very ignorant move, to listen to a one-sided story, take it, run with it, talk about it, make it a part of their life as if it really happened to them, as if they're getting paid for it. No, that's a miserable move, to gossip about a person that's out here winning, regardless of what they think or how they feel. You still out here winning in life after they believed that you didn't deserve half of the things God has blessed you with on today. And if they think they've seen something now, they haven't seen nothing yet. They haven't seen nothing yet. They can't stop where God is taking you. All they can do is talk about the person they used to know, the person that they really never knew, because some of these people never knew you, but yet and still, they're talking about what they would have done and what they wouldn't have done.
And want to play the God of somebody else's life. Hell, they can't even play the God of their own damn life. I can see through bullshit.
All they can do is talk about the person they used to know, the person that they really never knew, because some of these people never knew you, but yet and still, they're talking about what they would have done and what they wouldn't have done. No, people need to learn how to mind their own business. I know I got people hate watching me. Everybody that watches me is not a supporter. And I'm okay with that. Because whether you like the video or dislike the video, support is support, baby. And I still love you anyway. Some people are just hard to love. Some people you just have to walk away from them before you have to end up being set back and put in a place that you have already had to cry, fast, and pray your way out of, because people need to understand that this has not always been your story. You certified. Okay? See, you have put that version of yourself to rest. But people still need to understand that you're no pushover.
If they hadn't learned that by now, they just was to go on down to the river and drown themselves, because they are damn fools.
Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Mary Tarot. We're going to do your reading, Leo. I almost did not record this video. I want you to know that. I sat with this message for a while before I pressed record because of how precise it was. How unusually detailed. In all my time doing this work, readings tend to come through in themes, in feelings, in broad energetic impressions that I then translate into language. But this one came through differently. It came through like a letter, like someone on the other side sat down, chose every word carefully, and said, make sure they hear this exactly as I am saying it. Make sure they hear this exactly as I am saying it. That has never happened to me quite like this before, and the fact that you are here right now watching this tells me you are the person, so let me deliver it. Word by word, layer by layer, exactly as it was given to me. The first thing that came through was a single word. It arrived before anything else, like a title at the top of the page. Recognized. Not recognition in the way the world uses it, not fame or applause or public acknowledgement, something deeper than that. Recognized by the very force that has been orchestrating your path from the beginning. What this means is that there has been an imbalance between what you have given and what you have received. And that imbalance is being corrected, not slowly, not partially, fully. You have been pouring into situations, into people, into dreams, into work, and the return has not matched the investment. You have noticed this, and you have continued pouring anyway. That faithfulness has been recorded. And the correction that is coming carries a specificity that I find remarkable. It is not a general blessing. It is a precise response to a precise need you carry right now, one you may not have even spoken out loud. Here is where the message became unusually detailed and where I need you to listen carefully. There is something you almost gave up on, not something trivial, something that matters to you at the deepest level, something woven into your identity, something that when you think about it in quiet moments, something that matters to you at the deepest level, something woven into your identity, something that when you think about it in quiet moments, it produces both longing and ache in equal measure. You almost released it. You almost made peace with the idea that it was not meant for you. You came dangerously close to accepting a smaller version of your life, not because you wanted to, but because the waiting had worn you down and you mistook exhaustion for a sign. It was not a sign. It was a test of endurance, and you passed.
They could be trying to pay somebody. Yeah, group, association, cult, coven. All right. Child, what is going on here? So, someone is trying to make good on something here, okay? I don't know if someone wants back into an organization or a cult here, okay? It's like getting fired from a job. And this is a job in which, you know, you have a badge, you have access, and even though your access has been revoked. It's revoked to that system, that database, that building. But you still go to one of your places within your stomping grounds and use that badge to gain access to something or some type of perks or discount here, okay? I don't know what's going on with that, but that's what's coming through. What else is going on, child? Okay. What else is going on, child? Okay. Somebody wants in so they could, go in on some chaos magic here, okay? And this could be their plan B. Yeah, child, they're relying on somebody being sweet, compassionate, and innocent. Somebody wants in. Like somebody can want in somebody's personal space in their house here, okay? If the emotional manipulation, this is what I'm getting. They want to plant a seed using emotional manipulation here. Okay, once they get in, they're going to go ham with some chaos magic here. All right, they can get distracted. They can look the other way. It's all about access. That's what I'm getting. It's all about access here. Okay, and this emotionally manipulative person here is something about them being promiscuous, honey. Okay, there could be a cult or an association that's getting a visit here. Okay. Even though that card says impersonation here, like somebody's getting shown a badge here. Okay, let's see. It's like you're playing cop, and then the real cop shows up. Something is going on, honey. But one thing's for sure is somebody. Goddamn, I can't make it up. Access. Look how thick this deck is. Access. Somebody wants access. Wow. This has been coming out in the readings a lot. These people are desperate. So they're trying to get as close as possible. It's getting to the point where sitting outside in the parking lot is not enough. Okay, we started off with a stalker. Like somebody needs to play in your face. I just did a reading where somebody is just fake as hell. Okay, but they need to play in your face. They need to be your friend. They need to mend the bond between you guys here. Like, and some of these people, keep in mind, they're entity led. Okay, the unconscious part of them, the part of them that's rockabye baby sleep, is what is being controlled. Okay, access. They need access. God damn it. Let's get one more out here. Okay, what's at the bottom? I can't believe that came out. Like, I didn't, I haven't touched all these cards. I haven't seen all these cards. I cleansed them, and I started to work with them here. So I didn't even know that access card was here. Hot damn. This is too much. Look, interfere, intrude, hinder, block. Somebody wants to play kissy face. This promiscuous person. Yeah, this person is a liar, okay? If you're a divine masculine or a divine feminine, watch out, honey, okay? Because this person is desperate. This is giving, anything to get in, okay? If you're a divine masculine or a divine feminine, watch out, honey, okay? Because this person is desperate. This is giving, anything to get in, okay? Liar. They want to cause some type of interference, okay? They want to cause, and they feel like they need to get in, up, close, and personal here, okay? Something about that earthquake is significant here, okay? Maybe you survived an earthquake, and this could be spiritually or energetically, like some type of shakeup in your life. Maybe you have healed from a specific timeline here. Okay, there's a lot of healing that has went on within this Lionsgate portal. Okay, it's not just about abundance and prosperity. There was a lot of opportunities to heal. All right, so somebody wants access. God damn it. This promiscuous person, child, okay? Yeah, you could be ignoring this person, tuning out. You could be ignoring this person when it comes to communication. They could be blocked. If somebody's trying to hit you up on your socials, you're not interested.
God warned them to leave you alone, but they thought it was a joke. You guys have a lot of people being pressed out here with your energy, and it's triggering the demons in so many people. And another thing that confused you in the beginning of this journey was you thought that if someone was like spiritual, if someone was of God, you thought that automatically meant they were a good person. And through this experience, You found out that that is not the case.
An entire community was paid to attack you, but now the warrants are signed. An entire community was paid to attack you. The doors that once concealed them are about to open, and the narcissist behind it all is about to discover that money cannot silence the judgment of God. Not one person, not two people. An entire circle was bought, influenced, and instructed to make you feel isolated, watched, and oppressed day after day. Money changed hands. Lies were planted. The narcissist stood behind them all, smiling and believing no one would ever see the hand directing it. But today, heaven has spoken. God is no longer silent. He saw everything they believed was hidden. The doors that protected their secrets are being opened. God's patience was never his permission. They were given time to stop, but they accepted more money, repeated more lies, and continued touching someone God had already placed under his protection.